Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice is an incredibly powerful and moving game in a lot of ways. It touches on things like mental health as well as Celtic culture and a rather, well, quite honestly, one of the most beautiful games I've ever played. It just released on Xbox One. I played this on Xbox One X, and playing the game and its enhanced visuals is one of the most visually spectacular things I've ever played in a game. Having that in that mode with some headphones on, which I highly suggest you play this game in headphones, is one of the greatest harrowing but memorable experiences I've ever had. So in case you don't know, Hellblade Senua Sacrifices uses, I think it's called binaural audio, where the character of Senua is tormented by demons in her head, and that's sort of where the mental health issues kick in with this, and the way the whispers sort of creep around your own head when you have headphones on, telling her things like she's not good enough and she doesn't deserve things, and sort of putting herself down, feels incredibly harrowing in a lot of ways. And then on top of that, for anyone who deals with mental health or knows someone that deals with mental health, it hits a lot of notes. It hits a lot of real hard notes that sort of sink in while you're playing it, as in, hey, I've heard that voice there before. And that sort of is not something you feel a lot in games. You get a lot of like, hey, this is relatable because this character's like this and has done that, and that's great. That's sort of why we love some of our favorite heroes and antagonists. But here in Hellblade, it feels real. It feels really like it cuts past all the, let's say we're covering a broad audience with this, but making this trait of a character. Here, she feels very, very structured. She's very full, without sort of feeling like she's catering to anyone, except sort of having it relatable to someone who has or does suffer from mental health. I think it's done incredibly well. I think it's handled with a lot of care, but also does all of this in this stunningly beautiful world with monsters and demons, and it's done so well. Combat wise, it's relatively simple. Don't expect going in to play a really crazy hack and slash game or a complicated combat system. It's definitely not here, which means for those that don't like these types of doesn't like the games like this, or are expecting something a little more action heavy, may be disappointed. There are some puzzle elements as well, but everything is taken at a relatively slow pace. So if you're not into that type of game, you are not going to find a lot to like here. And on top of that, if something like creating like with psychosis or mental health or depression or anxiety or anything like that, if it's not something you sort of feel like you want to experience or enjoy in a game, because let's be honest, games are a way for us to escape, to have fun, whatever way your reason is for it. This game isn't for everyone, but for those that are willing to give it a chance and are open to it, you will not be disappointed by what you experience playing this game. It's something that I thoroughly enjoyed, and it's something I will remember for a long time, and will want to talk about it a lot more. I think Ninja Theory have made something very special that I feel like will be looked on in a very respected way for many years to come. And it's something that you almost feel like thanking them for creating, because it's not something that you could market very easily. And at the end of the day, we're in a business. It's a business. Game industry is a business. It's all the main thing is to make money, and to make a game that gives a message, gives something like that a voice. It's something I'm very thankful that they did.